1, 2, 3, clap. Hi, and welcome to Hey Buddy, Nice Podcast. Over there in Scotland, that's the very well-rested Brogan Hastings.
And over in Australia, that's the extremely unrested Wayne Giovinazzi.
That is correct. I'm a very sleepy puppy dog.
You've been up for a very long time.
That's right. This is like those Russian sleep experiments, those creepypasta stories you read about where they all go insane and, I don't know, something to do with Satan. That's a possibility.
This is why we're recording in separate countries.
Why are we recording in separate countries? Because of Satan?
Because if you've gone insane because of lack of sleep, I am 14,000 kilometers away.
But what is that in nautical miles? I can work that out. I can. It's 8,200, roughly 8,200 miles from my house to Las Vegas. And from your house to Las Vegas, it's about 4,200 miles, isn't it? So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12,400-ish nautical miles. It's weird that we know this
we
now.
know for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
Yes, no audiological reasons at all that will one day come to fruition. Hey, that's a project that we're actually working on that we're going to do. How good is that?
I know. A project that's actually almost complete, I would say.
Yeah. Where we just look, who's listening? We know who isn't listening due to a quote from the man himself, the totally real Matt Donnelly. He said
completely and utterly not made up, not fake Matt Donnelly.
Yeah. So I don't. Jacob surely doesn't care enough to listen, and Paul, maybe he would if he had nothing else to do. But he would.
Jacob's listening to a podcast by an Englishman and a New Zealander going, I know these people.
Yeah.
No, you don't, Jacob.
Yes.
No, you fucking don't.
I have no idea what they're saying, but it sounds like they're having fun.
Like, I never understood what they were saying anyway. Who cares?
Oh, but okay. So speaking of the totally real Matt Donnelly, we were talking to him on Zoom today, and you said something, and his reaction was priceless. Because you said a sentence and he just goes, what? Because he had no idea what the fuck you were saying through your accent.
What was that? I've forgotten.
Oh, I don't know. I have no clue. I don't recall. As we're aware, this happened, over 16 hours ago when I was running off minimal sleep.
Yeah.
But it took a lot to not just burst out laughing at that. I thought it was funny. See, I've grown accustomed to knowing what you're saying most of the time now.
Mm-hmm. I don't think my accent's that strong.
No, I don't think it is either.
But I think it can go pretty strong, but it's pretty watered down for Scottish.
Yeah, you referred to it as more posh Scottish, didn't you? As opposed to like a Ouija.
It's on the posher end of the scale, yeah.
I did see a guy the other day, though, who, look, I don't know for sure. But I was sitting down, drinking my coffee. It was in like a food court kind of place in the city, in a place called Rain Square. And this guy walked by, very busy area because it's lunchtime as well. Guy walked past me wearing a kilt. It did not look like a traditional kilt. It looked like it was just made out of like curtain fabric, like he'd made it himself. It didn't have that. What's that thing on the front called again?
Sporran.
Yeah, it didn't have a sporran. And he had a dyed, multicolored goatee as well. See, at first I was like, that guy's going to have a really thick Scottish accent. And then I'm like, you know what? He's probably not even Scottish.
I mean, people who aren't Scottish are allowed to wear kilts.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Jonathan Davis, lead singer of Korn, wears a kilt on stage.
Exactly. You know, we love all that. One of the things I remember, one of the very first TikToks I ever seen was this. It was a stitch, so it was like somebody reacting to somebody else's video. But the original video was this Japanese girl was like, my 100% Asian dad whenever he sees anything Scottish, and it was him standing proudly in his wee kilt. And it was a Scottish person stitched it. It's like, no, You didn't get to make fun of him. He's our dad now.
Yeah.
He's our dad now. And I'm like, yeah, you wear that kilt with pride, sir.
I don't remember what the first TikTok I saw was. I remember what the first TikTok was that I saw on our @NicePodBud account, because
Oh.
even now, everything on it, it's all thirst traps, my friend. All of it. And I'm trying to curate it to some degree. I've started liking video games and art related stuff. Or is that what you do on TikTok? Do you like things? I don't know. You push the heart button, yeah. But every time I open it, there's still women leaning over in front of the camera as if they've just hit the record button, because you can't fucking edit that out. Come on. It's like,
it's better than mine. For some reason, I keep getting Reddit stories of people fucking up, and I'm like,
oh,
sometimes, you know, it depends who's reading it. Sometimes I'll stop and listen to it, but like, there's this one particular guy that reads it, and I'm like, I fucking hate your voice. Stop coming across my page.
yeah. Well, can you block Twitter users? I guess you could.
Do you mean TikTok?
That too. I know you can definitely block Twitter people. I'm very familiar with blocking Twitter people. But yes, TikTok. Can you block TikTokers? Is that what they're called? Why am I sounding so old? Is that what the youngins call them? The TikTokers?
I don't actually know.
Look, it would be a pretty poor platform if you couldn't block people willy-nilly.
Oh yeah, there is a block button, right enough.
Good.
But the problem is with TikTok is, especially with those kind of things, especially the Reddit stories, is it's not always the same account. It's quite often it's the sound that people then put over games and making stuff and stuff like that. So you can block the account, but you can't block the
sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
That really confused me at first, because what was the thing before TikTok where, I don't know, wasn't
Vine.
good? No, not Vine.
Musical.ly.
Musical.ly, yeah, the thing that was not good. I wasn't aware that TikTok was all about. When I first started using it on my own personal account, I was like, why is everybody copying each other and just doing the same fucking videos? This is stupid. And then I realized that's what TikTok is all about.
Yeah.
So, and then same audio. Like the first time I saw like a really funny one with good audio, I was like, oh, that guy is a genius. And then I realized it wasn't their audio.
Yeah. I think I quite like it because it's like audio memes. I'm quite fond of it in that sense. I mean, I've used a couple myself where, you know, I've taken certain audio and made other videos.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes it's just quite funny to put it to different situations.
But I still get stuck in my head all the time. Making my way back home, been a long day, time to pat my fluffy little dog. Doodly doodly doo 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 doodle. That was one of the big ones when I was using TikTok.
I don't remember that one at all.
They're walking up to their front door, they open their front door, and their little doggy's there. That's all.
Oh.
Yeah.
We like little doggies.
Speaking of little doggies, I didn't hit the timer button, so I've hit that now. But speaking of little doggies, it was recently little Mr. Piffle's birthday.
It was. Happy birthday, buddy.
Yeah, little Mr. Piffles. And he's turned 15. Man. That means Mr. Piffles, if my cat was still alive, they would be the same age. They could have dated and not had anyone bat an eyelid, you know, except for the interspecies things. But look, I like to think that we live in a modern era. People should be more accepting.
Mm-hmm. And Mr. Piffles is he's just so fluffy and cute. What the hell? And so cuddly.
Listening to Piff and Pen talk about it, Mr. Piffle's birthday, and Piff saying, whoever it was at the time, that Mr. Piffles has developed comedic timing.
His agent,
It's true. It is 100% true. Because
that dog 100% has comedic timing.
I've seen Mr. Piffles outside of performing in his natural environment, and he's just a happy dog. It's weird. He knows when to turn it on.
Yeah, definitely. And you can tell because it's not like he just puts the costume on and just doesn't move, because that's not what happens.
No.
You know, it's when, you know, Piff picks, like, the one I always remember is Mr. Squeaky. So when Piff picks him up, he's like, "Oh, it's Piffle's favorite toy, Mr. Squeaky." Squeak, 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 squeak. Look how excited he is to see Mr. Squeaky, squeak, squeak, squeaking it in front of Piffle's face.
All around.
Not a blink.
Yep. It's
You know?
so good. Not even diverting his gaze towards it, not moving his head or anything.
Not exactly. You know, and then he gets on the cushion, he'll spin around a bit. You know, he's not one of these dogs that just puts a costume on and can't move.
No.
Which I think is funnier. He 100% knows what he's doing.
Yeah, it's not like
at this
when
point.
you put a costume on a cat and it just falls over, which
Yeah.
are also hilarious videos. But
The thing I always remember is Jenna Marble's dogs. One of her dogs, Kermit, who's an Italian greyhound, was always, always crying, always wanting for attention. But she put like the Halloween costumes on him, and he would just freeze
up,
just
yeah.
not move. Yep. So that's kind of what I always think about when I see Piffles in the costume, and I'm like, no, that's Piffles. Piffles is a professional.
I'm raising my hand because I have a question, so you need to call on me.
Yes, you with the fucking hair.
Yeah, excuse me, but who's Jenna Marbles?
Jenna Marbles was a YouTube sensation.
Okay. What was the controversy?
No, she just. This was a couple of years ago, where there was a lot of just YouTube controversies going on anyway.
Oh yeah,
And-
I'm familiar with the Saucony Jolies, that Mormon family, Ray William Johnson.
Shane and Ryland.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it was around that time anyway, but there was a lot of
Trisha
things
Paytas.
happening. She was like, look, I've done stuff that I'm not proud of. I'm never meant to hurt, brought it up. And she's like, I need a break from
Okay.
the platform, so I'm going to take some time off.
Yep.
I might come back, I might not. So, she hasn't been back on YouTube since, but it used to be every week there was some new video. And, when she first started, it was stuff like, what guys think, what girls think, where you put on makeup, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And some of them, like one of her recent one, or one of her last ones was, I'm going to be a disco ball. So she puts on a green screen and puts disco mirrors on her face.
Interesting.
She was honestly so freaking funny.
And on that note, look, we're aware that we've said and done some things in the past that maybe we shouldn't have, and I think it's time that we take a bit of a break, maybe a week or so, and then we'll come back with some fresh
not.
episodes. Okay.
I've done nothing wrong.
Hey, guilt by association, my friend.
Brogan has done nothing wrong.
Oh yes, that will hold up in court.
Exactly.
And you've got some you've got lawyer contacts. Oh, sorry, you got some fee earner contacts that can help you out.
I do have several fee earner legal contacts.
Yep. I do like that term, fee earner. I try to think of other ways to apply it to other industries, and it's not exactly transferable, is it?
Yeah. The only reason we see fee earner is because otherwise you then have to break it down into partners, solicitors, and all their ranks, whereas fee earner means not support staff.
Yeah.
So-
And it's going to be, you've got this partner, this solicitor, this lawyer, and you got Greg over there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you don't want to refer
Whereas
to Greg.
Otherwise, it's the fee earners and fucking Greg.
Fucking Greg. I tell you, if anyone hates Greg, it's Hitler.
Who was that other? What was that other name for? I was like, you should have used that.
Other than Greg.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that was probably only last episode too.
Really? Instead of
I think so. I can't
instead of
remember.
Hitler hating Greg, or just Greg in general.
It's like something like Hitler hating Kyle.
Okay. It's true. It's true what the podcasters say. It's like as soon as the record button has stopped rolling, I have no idea what we've
You
talked
remember.
about.
Fuck all.
Yep. And this is within the same 24-hour period.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So this guy, right? This Scottish guy. I only got a quick glimpse at him. Well, allegedly Scottish. May not have been. May have been. Not the point. But I saw him as I was. Yes, you in the back with your hand up, the one with the fucking hair.
That's my bit. Actually, no, that's Roy Kent's bit. I stole it from him.
Oh,
Did this man have a Sigan do?
was this man riding a sea-doo?
Did this man have a Sigan do?
A Segan do.
Do you want me to explain what that is?
Hang on, I can work this out. Segan is a way that a Scottish person refers to Carl Sagan, and a do is clearly his hair. So did he have a Carl Sagan style haircut?
No.
Okay.
Segan do is spelled S-G-I-A-N.
Hang on. No word begins with S-G.
This is Scottish Gaelic. So this is like Scottish.
I thought Gaelic was Irish.
Gaelic can be... I think there's Irish Gaelic and there's Scottish Gaelic.
Okay, well, give us this spelling then. Sorry to interrupt. I didn't put my hand up.
S-G-I-A-N-D-U-B-H.
And how's that pronounced? The do that's not...
Segan do.
That's, okay, it is a shoreline along the coast of Scotland. That's what it sounds like.
No.
Okay, what is it then? Go on.
It's a knife that you have with the kilt. So you know when somebody wears a kilt and they have those big long white socks?
Yes.
And they sometimes have a little knife that's tucked into the sock?
Okay. Or
That's what that is.
Yep. A side piece kind of knife. Got ya. All right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember what his sock wear, what his foot/leg warming devices were, and if he was indeed strapped with a knife. So does the knife just slide into the sock, or does it have like a sheath?
It has a little sheath that goes into the sock and you pull the knife out.
I'm glad I didn't start shit with him. Yeah.
What? Don't ever start shit with a Scottish person.
Well, really, you shouldn't be starting shit with anybody, which...
No, but especially a Scottish person.
I could say the same about an Aussie, though, as well. This particular type of Aussie, like a bogan or something. You know, if you're down the pub, look, there are people you don't want to fuck with, and I notoriously, I was the kind of person at the pub with my mate that would fuck with people who were... Yeah, that were the people that I'm saying you shouldn't fuck with. Actually, in fact, one night, me and Shannon, we were... so Shannon thought it was a good idea to speak with a Scottish accent, surprisingly, actually. And Shannon talks like this, which we've discussed before. Yeah. So it was a challenge for him. And he was into his cups. He had had a few. And we were sitting on a wall, because... pubs had closed down, and I think we may have been eating a kebab, as you do after a night of drinking. That's a kebab each. We were not sharing the same kebab. And a couple of girls walk past, and he just goes, "I'm from Glasgow."
Oh, Jesus.
And one of them looks him dead in the eye and goes, "No, you're not." And they just keep walking. But that whole night we were, speaking with accents, messing with people. That if they were caught on that you were being an asshole to them on purpose, they would want to punch you in the face. Honestly, I'm surprised I've never been punched in the face at a pub or a bar. There's
still time.
There's
still time.
I was actually thinking about it today because we went out to dinner for one of Kez's friends' birthdays, and it was to TGI Fridays, which is a known franchise across several places in the world. It's fairly new in Australia, or at least Western Australia. We've got 3 branches have popped up over the last couple of years. So we have been to TGI Fridays in Vegas, and we have with several people, and look, it's very much the same. Menu items are more or less very similar, if not the same. But the pricing is insane. And it's recent. So Kez likes this. This doesn't sound related, but it totally is. Kez likes Taylor Swift, and she lives in Australia. Taylor Swift is doing concerts in America, and we're going to be going to America next year. So she was getting tickets to the show, and she didn't want to tell me how much she paid for it, right? Because she's like, "Oh, he's going to be angry with me," or something like that. And me, I don't give a fuck, basically. And I'm like, "Just tell me how much it costs." It's like, "No, I have to tell you the story and why." It's like, just fucking tell me. And it was the amount that the ticket cost, which is fine, whatever. to me, it was not the value of what I would pay to see like one of my favorite bands. And that is how I equated the meal at TGI Fridays tonight. The price versus the value was not there. But sitting there amongst these people who I don't know, 10 years ago, I would probably have been trying to make an effort, I think, to not to try and start shit, but to I guess the way that they've said, that Matt has said on Ice Cream Social, is when they go to a place and they designate someone the mayor of that place because they've been a bit loud, a bit boisterous, over the top. And that's what I would do. I would try to get attention, essentially. And I noticed that, I'm not even giving a shit. Maybe it's because I was sleepy. I don't know. But I don't know. Maybe I'm
very proud of you.
Maybe I'm just older now. And I've got a question. You in the back, the one sitting on the fluffy chair.
You'll probably want to cut this out, but I can hear myself on your end.
How do you mean?
I mean, when I say something, I can hear myself come through your side.
Okay, hang on. Talk?
Hello, it's me.
Talk again?
Hello. I don't know what's happening.
Is that better?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, go again.
Hi.
Is that
saying
better?
Stuff so I can see. I think so, yeah.
Okay.
If I can hear it again, I'll stick my hand up. And if I've got a question, I'll wave.
I don't think it will be an issue.
No.
If it is,
but I was just like, I don't want...
If it is, oh dear listener, I'm sorry that you've had to put up with this up until now. And you know what? I'm just going to check the make sure that when I'm talking, the little bar's going up. Now I need Brogan to say something.
Hi.
There we go. And Penn, can you please say something for us?
Hey buddy, nice podcast.
Ooh, could you hear Penn?
I could hear Penn.
I couldn't.
Ooh.
Hang on. I'll call on him again. Penn, please, once more.
Hey buddy, nice podcast.
Okay, I could hear him that time. What about you?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I'm not editing any of that out because
Because you're lazy.
We need to fill an hour's worth of content here. But yeah. So, well, I guess I don't know. Inner development, growth. I'm a beautiful flower, something like that. I don't know. But this guy that I didn't start shit with. The reason why I didn't start shit with him is because I was reading a short story. I say it's a short story, but it's actually quite a long story in length, not in physical distance, in physical length. Because this place, you have to go down an escalator to get to the seating area. At the top of the escalator, there was this machine, and it said, read a short story. I'm like, okay. And you got 3 options, 3 buttons, 1-minute story, 3-minute story, or 5-minute story. So I hit the 5-minute story button. And I thought maybe it might print, there's no screen or anything. I thought it might print out a little QR code that I scan on my phone. But no. Basically, it printed out this.
Oh my God.
I am unfurling basically a CVS receipt length. It's same size, shape, and everything. And it's...
I saw you playing with that earlier, and I wondered what it was.
Yeah, I had it in my hand just so I would not forget about it. And it was... it surprised me. And I out loud, I said, gee, that seems like a bit of a waste of fucking paper. And the person walking past me looked at me like, why are you swearing in public, sir? It's like, mind your fucking business. And then we started shit and he ripped off his kilt. I was like, dude, no. I was thinking that the knife was under the kilt, but I just remembered that it's in his sock. My bad.
Yeah, and traditional Scotsmen don't wear anything under their kilts.
Yep, that's exactly it. But no, this story, it was, I didn't know what to expect, but it was called Long Way Home by Serena Kuhn. And it was... the way that it was written, it sounded like it could have been based in Perth, except for one. It was about catching public transport, but it was set in New York. And when I realized that, that's when it changed in my head to picturing where it was. But no, it was about their relationship with their boyfriend, right? and how it was all based on public transport because he didn't drive. Like, she had a car, but they would catch public transport, and how everything was based around that. Like, they would be able to talk to each other and like, play games and shit. And then eventually he gets his license, and then like basically their relationship breaks apart because now that he's discovered this freedom, he wants to like travel the country and shit. And she's like, "Yep, you do you, bruh. I'll live my life."
Fair enough.
It was interesting. It was for 5 minutes.
Apart from pen stuff, which I still need to go back to the chapbook, but I don't think I've read a short story since I was in high school. And there's some I can't remember the names of any of them, but I remember reading them. I remember vaguely what they were about, and I was like, didn't like it.
So what I'm hearing is that you are not familiar with the works of M.L. Kennedy. The Scoop, M.L.
Do you know
Kennedy.
what? No, I tell a lie because I've read his stuff and I've read Andrew Heaton's.
There we go.
So, yeah.
It wasn't a lie, it was a misremembering, that's all.
Exactly.
Yeah, you just needed a refresher of the brain. But in having said that, I've only read a little bit of M.L. Kennedy. I got ebooks, so I should read it. That is what I'll read next, because after reading that short story, the technically long story, I was like, I could read some more short stories. But then it could also be because I'm reading random at the moment. I'm like, gee, look at me. I'm a person that reads. And then that'll fall off in about, I don't know, a week by the time I finish this book.
How far are you in with random?
So I'm up to, I've just gotten past Piff's chapter.
So you're going up to Johnny?
Yes, that's right. They're about to visit Johnny.
Oh, Johnny.
Yeah.
He's so sweet.
That chapter, though, of Piff, Jade, Mr. Piffles, and Tui, it seemed so real as well.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was a genuine, actual conversation that Penn has had with Piff and Jade at some point.
Even to the description of Piff in human disguise wearing a Legend of Zelda t-shirt.
Yep.
It was pretty good. So, yeah, I guess we're doing a slow review of Random, aren't we?
We are, because I've finished it, and I'm just waiting for you to finish it. But before we actually fully talk about it.
Yeah. I reckon within the next week. It's a very easy read. Like, there's not really any huge chapters, and I'm the kind of person who doesn't leave a chapter unfinished.
Yeah.
Which means if I see it's a long chapter coming up, I won't get to it. I'll just leave it. And that's what destroys my reading abilities. Yeah.
There's a bit that's coming up that is probably my favorite bit. That if I just it's a conversation section, but it is hilarious, and I love it, and I love Penn for putting it in there.
Yep.
But yeah, so we'll talk about that when you get to it, because you'll know it when you get to it.
Yep. See, when I messaged you and said that I'd just read the Piff chapter, and I had an audible, excited reaction to it. But I know why. It's because the last time I heard Penn talking about it was when he said that he's written himself into the book as well. As just as him, I believe. Is that? Well, that was my understanding anyway. But that's why I was thinking when it said, "Oh, we're going to have to go pay a visit to a magician." It's like, "Oh, they're going to go see Penn." It's like, "We're going to go see a magic dragon." It's like,
Penn. The best way to describe it is Penn is in the random universe. Penn is never named. Penn is not a character.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, that Las Vegas magician. And it's Penn. Like, it's very obvious it's Penn.
Yep, got ya. All right. Oh, we were talking about Taylor Swift before, briefly. And I realized that maybe I'm becoming my father, because we would drive in the car listening to our music, and he would say, I can't tell the difference between these bands. It's like, oh, that's because it's the same band. I was like, well, then I can't tell the difference between these songs. That's how I feel hearing bits and pieces of this new Taylor Swift album, Midnights. I'm like, it sounds the same as not all the songs sound the same, but they sound the same to other Taylor Swift songs to me.
Yeah, you can't tell if it's the new album, an old album.
Well,
It's
that's not 100% true, because when they had the Taylor Swift Scoopity on Ice Cream Social, I got
Yep.
probably 95% of those questions correct. So I do know them to a degree, but
Mhm.
I'm talking like if I heard one of the new ones, I'd be like, yeah, that's one of the new songs.
Yeah.
But I feel like they like, as someone critiquing them, they sound the same. But I'm not someone who cares about that music either. So
Yeah. I mean, I thought for a second you were taking your life into your own hands there and saying, I can't tell the difference between Taylor Swift, Harry Styles, Louis Tomlinson, and One Direction.
oh no, I can 100% can 100% out of my own volition yesterday. I mean, it was being nice, I guess. I put on a record on the record player, and it was Harry's House.
Mm.
Because I knew Kez was getting ready to go out as well. But it's like, I'm not offended by the music.
Mhm.
So it's fine. It's fine. It's
When
not
I
on
was
my
at the dentist
spot.
the other day, there was they have a TV up in the reception area,
Oh,
and a trailer came
I-
up for My Policeman. And I was like, I know him.
I thought you were going to say it was a TV. You know how a dentist office, well, I don't know about your dentist, they'll strap a TV to the ceiling. So when you're laying back looking at, when they're drilling into your mouth and that, you can watch TV. No?
Oh, I wish we had that. No, it was just in the reception area.
Oh.
When they start talking about teeth, and it's like, now in films. Okay.
Take a look at this guy's teeth in this upcoming film. Oh, no, I see what you mean. You mean like, oh, all right. It's an advertisement between them saying, have you got
Yeah.
good oral hygiene? If not,
Mhm.
book a consultant today.
Essentially, yeah.
Consultation. Yeah. So you are still going back again, though, to the dentist.
Yes, so I was there on Wednesday for a hygienist appointment, which is essentially when you get your
Cleaning, scaling.
yeah, proper cleaning and scale and polish.
Yeah, that's it.
And I'm back on the 1st of December because I need to get my last wisdom tooth taken out,
Yeah.
which was supposed to be on Thursday, but I had to move it.
Yes, for reasons we've discussed.
Yeah.
Me and Kez had to go to the shops today to buy stuff for Kez's friend for their birthday.
Yeah.
And we were in the toy section, and just out of nowhere, Kez goes, "What the fuck is this?" And it's like, get this for someone who hates teeth or has a problem with teeth. And I straight away go, "That's Matt Donnelly." Turn the corner, and they're these like weird fucking monsters, fuzzy monsters with like teeth sticking out of there. They look like real teeth sticking out of their face.
Were they blue?
They were different colors, several different ones.
Like Huggle Wuggle or something?
Huggle Wuggle. Oh no, that's from the game, isn't it?
That's what
Huggle.
I was going to say.
No,
'cause
no.
I've seen those were the fluffy things. And
No, I'll find out what they were, and we'll post a picture of them on the socials,
Yeah.
along with everything else from the last few episodes that we should have been posting.
I genuinely thought for a second there you were going to say, that's Matt Donnelly. And I turned the corner and he was there.
No, that would have blown my mind, considering I'd only spoken to him hours before, knowing for a fact he was in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we've done enough Matt Donnelly talk. I think we went almost a whole episode without mentioning him once. Did we? Last episode?
No, we mentioned him right at the top.
Oh, did we? As we do.
As is tradition.
And you don't fuck with tradition. Remember a few episodes back, we were talking about sports and shit, and
Yes.
I was saying, it might be even more than a few episodes, and I was saying how at the Perth Wildcats games we go to, they'd fucked with tradition, changed the song at the
Yes.
start of the game. People complained.
Oh,
and-
really?
From last game, they went back to tradition. It starts off
Good.
with the same songs. None of this bullshit. Stand up until the other team scores. You stand up until the Wildcats score. That's how it goes. It's like you're messing with people's lives, their livelihood. It's so happy ending for that story.
Good. Has there ever been a time where you've had to stand up until Wildcats score and the Wildcats have not scored the entire game?
No, that doesn't happen. But
Yeah.
when we first started going to the games, this was a game that went with my brother and his daughter, and it was still, because it was early days of us going to the basketball, we hadn't really worked out timing of driving there and parking and getting to the venue.
Yeah.
So we were not on time. So I let them out of the car. They went into the stadium, and I'm driving behind, like, because it's basically bumper to bumper getting into the parking structure.
Yeah.
And I'm like fucking missing the start of the goddamn game, bloody hell. And I get into the stadium, and like the first quarter is halfway through, and Kez says,
Yeah.
we've only just sat down. I was like, what do you mean? Like, I dropped you off, you just got in. I said, how could you've only just gotten in? It's like, no, the Wildcats have only just scored. Like, oh, so that's 4 to 5 minutes is insane to not score, because we've got 10-minute quarters, not 12-minute quarters like in the NBA. FIBA rules, FIBA. But yeah, I don't think a team could go the entire game without scoring. And honestly, after a certain amount of time, a foul is going to occur and the other team's going to be shooting a foul. Everyone would sit down. A timeout would be called. If your team hasn't scored in the first 3 minutes, a timeout should be fucking called. And that's right. Everyone would sit down then as well.
I suppose because I'm thinking of stuff like, football here and hockey and stuff, where very constantly you get, you can have 0-0 games.
Which is stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, overtime. Let's play another 5 minutes. Make everyone tired until they can't play no more.
But yeah, I don't think that ever well, that doesn't happen with hockey because somebody has to win in America, don't they? They don't do ties.
No, they do penalty shootouts and stuff, or whatever they call it. I don't know what they do. Do they start off with extra time? I don't know.
Something like that.
I'm not a hockey person.
Which I only discovered from watching Ted Lasso. I didn't realise until Ted was like, oh, y'all do ties here. And I was like, you don't?
All right. Look, it must be that time, Brogan. I think it's time for 5 words that sound cool when spoken by Brogan Hastings.
Shagadelic. Draconian. Placental hemorrhage. Cacophony. Moose.
See, moose.
And I have an extra one here from which I just remembered Chris asked me to do, which was nice.
Oh, how dare you? Why would you do that to me? Here I was about to talk about moose, right? And be like, so moose, is that moose like the animal moose, or is it moose like hair moose or the dessert moose? But no, we had to go with noise with a click. Say noise is fine if it's like Jake Peralta, in one of those police procedural comedy drama shows. But no.
Nice.
Why?
Why do you hate it so much?
It's the guy's face. It is the guy's face.
You can't see his face.
It's the expression on his face. Oh, look, you're making the click noise and you're directly quoting him so I can see it. I have a mind's eye. I can picture things in my head, like multiple people across the globe.
He's so annoying.
I don't like his face. Look, I'm sure if he was standing in front of me, I wouldn't have a problem with his face. But it's the shape that it makes and like the little head tilt and that. And I don't know. Maybe there's something that is unsettling about the way he's doing it. I don't know what it is.
I like the fact that if you Google Michael Rosen click nice, it comes up.
So what's his name? Michael Rosenthal.
Oh, what was that? Sorry,
Michael Rosenthal.
Michael Rosen.
Oh, okay. Michael Rosen.
I think we've.
What is Michael Rosen known for?
Michael Rosen is certainly known in the UK for writing a lot of children's books. Most specifically, We're Going on a Bear Hunt.
Oh, so this guy is a bear murderer. And he draws inspiration from true tales of bear slaughter.
If I remember right, they ran away from the bear.
That's a good call. Yeah. Why would you not run away from the bear? Okay, I'm not familiar with Let's Go on a Bear Hunt. What other books? So children's, are they picture books or are they?
Yeah, picture, but like for really young kids.
Is he writer and artist?
I think he has done some art for the stuff, but for the most part, no. The other one that comes to mind is Sad Book, which was one he wrote when his son died, which was illustrated by Quentin Blake, who also does the stuff for Roald Dahl.
Yep.
So for ages you look at it and you think, oh, hang on, that's Roald Dahl. Oh, no, it's not.
I wonder if that book comes with a bumper sticker that says "Honk if you're sad."
That still makes me laugh.
Yes. This guy's dead son makes you laugh. That's a bit insensitive, Brogan.
Don't do Michael Rosen like that. But no, he's done loads of stuff.
Look, I'm comfortable insulting Michael Rosen because you haven't said how dare you, like with that guy with the snowman book or whatever.
I think
it
I
was.
said it when we very first started talking about it, but I've kind of given up hope because I feel like if I'm going to keep doing something that annoys you, then you should be allowed to complain about it.
Yeah, it's not about him. It's not about him. It's about that one moment of time that he existed and was committed to film. That's all.
And do you know what? I think it was him reading a short story, if I remember right.
Okay. If it was his short story, then I'm not happy. If he was
Yeah.
reading someone else's short story, then I'll allow it. I won't like it, but I'll allow it. Maybe he was walking through Rain Square in Perth, Western Australia, and he saw this machine, and he pushed the button, and it spit out this giant long receipt with a story on it for him, and he didn't know it was going to say "noise" in it, and he had to do it.
I don't think he even says noise. I think that's just me.
All the gifs in that say "noise."
Hang on, let's...
You know, now that you say, I can't picture this old guy saying "noise."
It's cool, just cool to the mouth. Nice.
I'm not liking this anymore. What the fuck was that? We'll edit it in so you can hear it properly.
Okay. It's from a thing called Hot Food.
Mm-hmm.
Kids' Poems and Stories with Michael Rosen.
Yeah.
From The Hypnotizer, which...
The Hypnotizer. That sounds like a very, very bad stage hypnotist name.
Yeah, so The Hypnotizer is a book by Michael Rosen. So it is his poem.
The Hypnotizer, bad stage name for a hypnotist, but good name for a WWE superstar.
That's true. Yeah. But there's loads of them on here. Yeah, there's one that's a very popular TikTok noise that's oh, there's Melanie. Oh, that's a shame. She was really nice.
What? What?
Yeah.
What? I don't understand. What's the? What, this is. They're saying nice, but not noise. But they're co-opting it to say noise in the TikTok. Is that what you're saying?
No. So there's another sound, TikTok sound, that's very popular, where it's one of his poems.
Okay.
Where he says, "Oh, there's Melanie. Oh, that's a shame. She was really nice."
I get you now. So there is the referencing the poem, but whoever did this sound originally just happened to be Australian.
No, it's still Michael Rosen.
What? Okay, so Michael Rosen is doing the voice, but is doing it in an Aussie accent.
Let's see.
Or was that
Michael
your
Rosen.
attempt at a British accent?
That was... Hang on. Oh, motherfucker.
Oh no, it's a shame. She's really nice. Says Dave.
It's when he says nice that he was. It did sound a bit Australian.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I think there's quite a lot of similarities between an English accent and an Aussie accent.
Well, yeah, I could not imagine why, being that we are the penal colony of England. Are you laughing at penal?
No, I'm laughing because I remembered a joke that somebody said where they were going into Australia and they said, "Do you have a criminal record?" And they said, "No, is that still required?"
Yeah. Oh, who was that? Yeah, I'm familiar with that. Oh, no recollection of who it was. Oh well. But yeah, you could say that I'm not a fan of this Michael Rosen chap.
I mean, you're wrong, but okay.
Look, he was part of your childhood, was he? Is that is that
Yes.
the problem? See, I equate it to like penguin biscuits. Just because you grew up with something does not make it good.
I mean, you're wrong about penguin biscuits too. Penguin biscuits are clearly the superior biscuit.
I'm not even comparing them to anything. I'm not comparing them to Tim Tams. I'm not comparing them to Oreos. I'm comparing them to nothing. I'm just saying that they're not good.
Tim Tams are not good.
Yeah, but penguins aren't good either, are they? Speaking of penguins, you know how they got like big chubby bodies and their tiny little heads?
Yeah.
I saw a penguin skeleton on the internet yesterday, and they have very long necks.
Oh, because they stretch out quite a lot,
Yeah.
especially when they're swimming.
Where it looks like their shoulders are. I mean, yes, it's their shoulders, but that is not where their neck ends. Their neck like seems to go down, like to
Yeah, because it's all the fat that sort of comes
Yeah.
up.
yeah.
That's because they're not made for standing on land. They're made for swimming. So when
But
when
they
they're stretched out, when they're elongated.
But if movies have taught me nothing else, is that penguins like to stand around doing nothing as much as they like swimming.
Penguins like to dance.
Well, the ones with them happy feet. I don't know. If I knew any line from that movie, I would quote it. Like, for example, I'd be saying, "Damn, look at that, happy feet, go!" If that was a line from the movie, I would have just said it just now.
I can't remember. I remember that Robin Williams was in it, and I remember that Brittany Murphy was in it.
Oh.
I can't even remember who played Happy Feet.
It was Frodo Baggins himself.
Was it really Elijah Wood?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Hmm.
We could Google it to find out for sure.
Elijah Wood, yeah, right
There
enough.
we go. See, I do know
Elijah Wood,
some
Robin
things.
Williams. Hugh Jackman was in it.
Hugh Jackman. Wow.
Yeah. Nicole Kidman, Hugo Weaving.
Oh, Hugo Weaving. So,
Yeah.
Hugo Weaving, right? Do you know what country Hugo
Yeah.
Weaving's from?
Is he from Australia?
And what about Russell Crowe? Do you know what country Russell Crowe is from?
I want to say Australia as well.
What about Sam Neill? Do you know what country Sam Neill's from?
Is he from Australia?
No, they're all from New Zealand.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think, was there not a... I have a vague recollection of Hugo Weaving being in a film.
When I say they're all from New Zealand, I think they're all born in New Zealand. Let's go with that. I could be wrong. I could be misremembering. But yes, you have a recollection of Hugo Weaving being in a film. That's because Hugo Weaving, his profession is
No,
actor. And he has been in multiple films, such as The Matrix. He's also been in V for Vendetta. He wasn't in Bad Boy Bubby, even though the main guy in that kind of looks a bit like him.
Hugo Weaving is an English actor born in colonial Nigeria
Oh, wow.
to English parents. He has resided in Australia
Yeah, that's what it
for the entirety of his career.
is. Yeah,
He's the recipient of 6 Australian Academy of Cinema Television Awards
yeah.
and recognised as an honorary officer of the Order of Australia. So I was right. I will take my apology,
No,
Kate,
no.
thank you.
He is English by birth.
By residency and by...
Oh yeah, yeah. I know.
career.
I was only saying it. I'm only saying it by common misconceptions.
Sam Neill is New Zealand. Who was the other one you said? Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. I think Russell Crowe was born in New Zealand. I'm doubting myself now, Brogan.
Born in New Zealand and spent
Yeah.
10 years of his childhood in Australia
I'm
and then moved
basing
there
it
permanently.
off the back of a fantail wrapper. Oh, do you have fantails in Scotland? It's candy.
Do we have what?
Fantails. Fantales. It's a chocolate coated caramel candy. And
Oh, I know the kind you're talking about, but no, we don't have them.
yeah, very similar to a milk dud if a milk dud was bigger and individually wrapped. And on the wrapper, it's got it's usually like a who am I question, and it'll give you
Yeah.
all this information about the actor or a movie, and then you say, oh well, that's clearly Nicole Kidman, because everybody knows that Nicole Kidman was in that movie BMX Bandits. And it's always like, this actor spent most of his career in Australia, born in New Zealand though. And so that's it's a common thing that they do on these fantail wrappers. So,
Yeah. See, now I've just got a craving to watch Hugo Weaving films like Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, or I'm trying to think of the one that I really liked that wasn't.
Lord of the Rings.
No, it wasn't a big movie, but like he was singing in it. I remember that.
Hugo Weaving singing. Well, Priscilla, yeah?
Yeah. It wasn't Priscilla.
All right, I'm opening up IMDb. Let's see. Older or newer, do you reckon?
Older.
Okay. So you've got I haven't heard of any of this stuff. Seven Deadly Sins was a TV miniseries, so it wouldn't be that, and that was in 1993. So I'd be very surprised. Was it Naked? Stories of Men? Probably
No, it was
not.
The Tender Hook.
Oh, The Tender Hook. Was that before or after The Matrix? What year?
I want to say 4.
Tender Hook was 2008. So it was well after The Matrix.
After. Yeah.
Almost by a whole decade.
Yeah. It was after Happy Feet.
Oh, which he was also in, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also called The Boxer and the Bombshell. I knew it was a boxing flick because he's singing while he's in a boxing ring.
Is he singing The Boxer? The song The Boxer?
He's singing I'm Your Man.
But is he also Naked? The Story of Men? Which is that other thing?
He's not, but he does walk around with his shirt open a lot. Or very loosely buttoned.
Yes. 3 or 4 buttons down is what you're saying.
Yeah.
What about, have you seen Babe and Babe 2, Pig in the City?
I think a very, very long time ago.
Because he's in both. He's in both Babe and Babe 2, Pig in the City.
Yeah. Who was in that?
Rex. I think he was a dog. See,
Rex the sheepdog.
people like to say, it's like whenever it's such and such 2, Electric Boogaloo, I prefer such and such 2, Pig in the City. It's like, oh, let's go see that new Godzilla movie. Oh, it's the second one of the remake. Yeah, it's Godzilla 2, Pig in the City.
James Cromwell, that's who I was like. I knew that there was an actor in it. I was like, I know one actor in that. Or I can picture one actor in that, and it was James Cromwell.
Okay. I guess
Because
we
he's
need...
the one that says, that'll do, pig, that'll do.
Oh, yeah, the old guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one that recently... did he not glue himself to a counter? Because they didn't have...
Yeah.
Was it alternate milks at the same price or something like that? Was that his protest?
That kind of rings a bell.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
It's like, you're making me pay extra for almond milk? How dare you? Where's my super glue?
In May 2022, Cromwell superglued his hand to the counter of a Manhattan Starbucks to protest the surcharge of plant-based milks.
What a chance.
Good for him.
Yeah. It's... Look, they're buying this milk in bulk anyway. And it's... I'm going to say it without any research, without any fact to back this up. I reckon oat milks are used and purchased just as much as regular milks now.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, they got to be.
Because even people who can drink milk, like I could probably drink milk. I don't know. I haven't drunk actual milk for a long time because I don't particularly like it.
Yeah.
I prefer oat milk. I prefer almond milk. So when I have a hot chocolate, that's what I ask for in it because it tastes sweeter. I like it like that.
See, I don't like the sweetness of, like, to me, I didn't drink milk for a long time, like in my coffees or anything, and now milk is very sweet tasting to me, and we're talking cow milk.
Yeah.
And if I'm getting an alt milk, I'll get unsweetened, like unsweetened almond, unsweetened oat. It's hard to say unsweetened.
Unsweetened.
Well, there you go. Whatever. All right. So we've got a little bit of art talk because there's been an episode without it, so it's time for an episode with it. Have you done any artworks?
Have I posted any artworks?
That's
No.
what I mean.
Have I
yeah.
done anything? Yes. I now have I don't like the term backlog, but that's probably accurate. I have a
reserve.
What's the word? I have a reserve. I have a reserve of P&T bits.
Yeah.
I am 2 bits ahead for once. I finally finished King of Animal Traps. So that'll be posted probably on the day this drops.
Okay.
Because that'll be Friday.
This will be
and I also have,
Friday.
And I also have Borderlands versions, which I would like to keep back.
Yep. Hold it. Because you want to hold it because you think it's a strong one, or you just want it to be in a reserve?
I would like it to be in reserve because I don't like to use because it's not the whole thing is it's a P&T bit.
Yeah.
And ones like that are P&T appearances. So with the Sabrina the Teenage Witch one, there was another one I done, I can't remember. but I'm like, I don't want to overuse them.
Yeah.
I fine for a backup or something where I'm like, I don't have anything.
Yeah.
Or I really get inspired for something, but I'd rather not burn it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's always good to have things there that are strong for emergencies as well.
Exactly. Exactly. What about you?
Me is the usual. Look, I've probably posted more comics by the time that this has come out, but I'm only going for 2 today, and because yeah, that's right, it's time for the podcast within a podcast. The not so good at this podcast.
Not so good at this.
So the first comic today, it's not really a comic. I think it was kind of more inspiration of your Penn Sunday School postcards, I think, because it's just a single panel, and it says episode 658 or whatever it is, Apology Cakes, which is an episode of Penn Sunday School with Piff the Magic Dragon, where Penn challenges Piff on something that Piff knows for fact, and Piff is like, if I'm right, you owe me an apology cake. And this happens multiple times throughout the episode, and Piff is owed 3 apology cakes from Penn. And Piff goes into detail saying the type of cakes he would like. He wants one of those yellow sort of pound cake, I guess, but with cream and strawberries. None of that fake strawberry shit. No, legit. The other one, Jade, she likes a chocolate cake. So, go a nice chocolate cake. And one of those cakes where it's rainbow all the way through it, where it looks like each layer is going to taste different, but it doesn't. It's all just one cake with food dye in. So basically, it just says that, the title of the episode, with Penn in his magician suit, Piff in his natural dragon skin, all happy because Penn is presenting him with these 3 exact cakes. That's all it is. So it's not really a comic, but it does say Piff comic up the top. So that's not really the comic.
Not so good at this.
And the other comic we're looking at today is comic number 408 of the Not So Good at This series. Working title, Mac and G. It's 3 panels long, and in the first panel we see a rather glum-looking girl and a friend who's approaching her carrying something and is saying, I heard you and Amy split, so I got you this. And he hands it to her, and she looks down, and it's a tub of some kind of food dish. And she says, Johnny, this is mac and cheese. And in the last panel, she's celebrating, Johnny, this is fucking awesome. And that comic is special thanks to patron Leanne Kay, who knows that a craft dinner rocks. That's the comic.
Many things can be solved with pasta.
Many things can be solved with pasta. Yes, let's see. The crisis in the Ukraine. All it takes is, I wouldn't say macaroni, probably more of a penne, rigatoni.
Yeah.
Do you know the
ravioli?
See, ravioli, I don't mind a stuffed pasta. It's all right. The little pillows, as they're known. But I do prefer a penne rigatoni. Do you know the difference between a standard penne and a penne rigatoni?
I don't. Tell me.
The rigatone penne, I believe that's what it's called anyway. That's the one with like the lines down the side of it, whereas regular penne is just smooth. So there's no sauce holding ability to it. A regular penne, pointless.
Yeah.
Throw it in the trash.
Get in the bin.
Yeah, into the bin. Oh, I still need to make you watch some Shawn McCullough so you would understand what I'm saying when I do that. So we've still been waiting for people to send in their art. So clearly, none of our dear listeners have an artistic bone in their body, by the looks of things, because we don't receive anything. Like, surely someone out there draws a stupid comic, maybe not even a stupid comic, maybe a good comic. Maybe they're scared that we're going to rip it to shreds, but we're not. We will lovingly accept your art with our eyeballs and only talk good things about it. Even
it would be incredibly hypocritical of us to tear it apart.
Exactly, yeah. I was going to say something and I'm not going to because I don't want to receive that kind of art because that means we'd be committing to having to lovingly talk about it, which I don't want to do. But look, send it through to us, admin@nicepodbud.com, because we want to see it and talk about it. We try to do art. I guess that was one of the staples we thought this podcast would be about, I guess, wasn't it? Like art talk and things like that.
Yeah.
But that it just becomes us talking about our own shit when we want to involve other people's arts. I guess we could talk about like other comics and that we see. Well, I don't know why we don't do that. Maybe we'll start doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why not? But yeah, drop us a line. You can even go to the website nicepodbud.com. Little contact form that you can fill in. You can also send us things like accent challenges, which I'm sure there is one that you could be voting on right now, which was from Smitty Scoop. So yeah, go to Twitter at nicepodbud. It'll be pinned to the top of the page, and yeah, you can vote for whether you thought it was me or Brogan did better in that challenge. And we don't care what your criteria for voting is. You do you. But you can also talk to us on Twitter personally, one-on-one. And you can speak to Brogan at that's us already, at 7 billion needles.
And you can speak to Wayne at Wayne Geo.
And that's not just Twitter, because you'll find us anywhere that we are on social media with those at handles, which, who knows nowadays? We might all be living on fucking Mastodon or something, or some other extinct giant creature. Who really knows? But I guess, anyway, thanks for stopping by and having a listen.
Yeah, and as always, stay fresh, cheese bags. Stay fresh, cheese bags. Stay fresh, cheese bags. Stay